The Respiratory System by Josh Tainui. Fish respiratory system. The gills. The structure of the gills. Fish have internal gills which are covered by an operculum. The purpose of these gills is to provide the body of the fish with enough oxygen to survive. To get enough oxygen, the fish must make water flow across its gills. The fish does not breathe water in and out of its mouth. The following diagram shows how the gills work. As you can see, water flows in through the mouth of the fish, containing oxygen. The oxygen then goes through the opercular chamber, and you can see it contains the gill arch, blood vessels, and the gill filaments. The gills contain many filaments. Each filament is covered in lamellae. These increase the surface area, and because they are thin, ensure that the diffusion distance between the blood and the lamellae and the water is small. This large surface area means that they can get a more rapid rate of diffusion, exchanging of gases. The blood flows through the lamellae in the opposite direction to the water. This is a countercurrent system. It ensures the maximum exchange possible occurs. Fish have adapted to be able to breathe underwater using their gills, as they have to extract oxygen in the water, not the air. Gills are a specialized organ and have many adaptations. Fish are able to maintain a steep concentration gradient because of the countercurrent system in the lamellae. Fish get the moisture required to keep the lungs lubricated and stop them from drying out from the water they take in through their mouths. Insect respiratory system. How oxygen enters the body. Air enters the insect's body through valve-like openings in the exoskeleton. These openings, called spiracles, are located along the thorax and abdomen of most insects, usually one pair of spiracles per body segment. Airflow is regulated by small muscles that operate one or two flap-like valves within each spiracle. What happens when oxygen enters the body? After passing through a spiracle, air enters a tracheal trunk, eventually diffusing throughout a complex, branching network of tracheal tubes that subdivides into smaller and smaller diameters and reaches every part of the body. At some point, the diameter of the tubes gets so small, the tubes become tracheoles. Air passes to the end of the tracheoles and is delivered to a single cell or a small group of cells, where it is taken in and used for necessary cellular functions. At the same time, carbon dioxide, produced as a waste product of cellular respiration, diffuses out of the cell and, eventually, out of the body through the tracheal system. How it maintains a steep concentration gradient. The insect cells use the oxygen that has travelled down the tracheal system, so there is less oxygen at the end of the tubes than there is outside the insect. So, molecules of oxygen pass into the tracheal system to replace the oxygen that was used and end up at the tips of the tracheoles. These molecules are also used by the insect cells, so more oxygen enters the tracheal system to compensate. Thus, oxygen continues to flow into the respiratory system, and the insect is continuously supplied with the oxygen it needs to survive. Here you have a diagram with a bit more detail and the bibliography.